You've got a passion for the outdoors, a desire to feel the warm sun on your face, the sound of your fly line whipping through the air, the pop of the water as the fish inhales the fly you just found in the floorboard of your truck. You need to feel the cool waters on your feet, the crisp north breeze of a November morning, the sound of a turkey gobble, the December rut, the chills of an elk bugle in September. It's the longing passion to chase your obsession. This is what we share. This is what we preach. Welcome to Honey Hole Hangout.
What's up, everybody? We got a great show for y'all today. Here is myself. I'm Landon. With me, I have the Zacks, and our guest today is Russell Reynolds. What's up, Russell?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Good, man. How does it feel to be on another podcast?
It's different. It's the only time I've ever done it.
It's relaxing, isn't it?
It is far more relaxing.
Yeah, you don't feel like you have to like keep it going, right? You're just like, I'm just here. They're gonna ask me questions. All I have to do is answer.
Right.
You know. Hey, before we get started, give a quick shout out to your own podcast.
All right. I mean, I appreciate that. So I'm Russell. My other counterpart is Jose. His name's Jose Mata, and we're Wildlife Outdoors. Basically, we're very similar to Honey Hole. We're both fly fishermen, photographers, videographers, kind of, passion project type of stuff. But we also enjoy hunting and are big about conservation. So we like to get on and BS with people and make them friends, and that's basically it.
Nice. And it should be noted, I've been on your podcast before. Mm-hmm. Harris has been on your podcast. Zach hasn't been invited.
Wow.
Hey, I did message him one day and said he could tell his carp story, but we just haven't logged down a time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There has been an invite, an informal one.
It is. So it's going to go down, man.
Nice.
Everybody deserves to hear that story more than once, I will say.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant story. I'm looking forward to the stickers, the new slaps for the Yeti box.
Oh, dude, are they is it official?
Have they been ordered?
In production?
Oh, no, I thought they were.
I don't know. I mean, I'll do it.
We're going to have to make that happen then, because those are priceless.
It is funny. Now, remember, are we gonna put a phrase with it? Like, I got a carp, or what? What's the catchphrase that goes with it?
I don't think a catchphrase is necessary.
You think it's my face?
I think we should have your face, but with a cartoon, a hand-drawn, cartoonish body. Yeah.
A stick figure.
Like a Bigfoot body. A Bigfoot body, like Harry.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be pretty funny.
Now we're talking.
Good.
Yeah, I like that.
Hey, Russell, Fowler says that you need to get him on the show.
We need to.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I'll message him, and we'll get that going, because we definitely need to. We actually talked about you in the episode that we dropped today, about our anniversary and how we didn't make it down there to have a party at your place. So,
Russell, what made you guys decide to want to start a podcast?
There's a few things, man. Me and him are nerds, and we used to go out. So I went to Texas State, and me and him grew up in Kyle. And whenever he'd come back into town, whenever he was down in Kingsville, we'd always end up going down to the square and, just going out to random bars. And it never failed. At the end of the night, we'd be a little inebriated, sitting at some bar, rambling about dogs or fish or deer or something. And it was an every time thing. And just drunkenly one time, we're like, dude, we need to start a podcast. And it was just an idea, but nothing ever come of it until about 10 years later. And we're like, you know what? I had gotten divorced, and I was living up here in I still live here in Arkansas, but I was up here, and I'm not really the hugest fan of Arkansas. I miss Texas. That's home to me. I'm from Alaska originally, but Texas is home. And Arkansas was just kind of for a while. So I was like, dude, I need to get out of my rut. Let's just do this damn podcast thing. And that's what we did. So it's been just over a year now that we've been doing it. And it's been helpful in terms of, me having something to look forward to, something to do, and also to get out in the community here and get to know more Arkansans that are not just the typical people I run into every day. So
why don't you like what's the deal with Arkansas? Why don't you like it as much?
People are a little different here. Arkansas as a state is phenomenal. I mean, there's water everywhere. It is absolutely gorgeous. You got the Washita Mountains, Ozarks. I mean, it's gorgeous here. There's water. I live 50 feet from a lake, and there's carp going crazy out here. And I mean, I love where I'm at. But the people are very friendly, but not welcoming, if that makes sense. So, like, I can't name how many times. It doesn't matter if I'm in Tennessee, Georgia, Texas, Alaska, Washington, California. I can make friends with people. And you'll run into somebody on the river, floating down a river, bump into them. Next thing you know, 2 weeks later, you're at a family cookout, you know? Here in Arkansas, it's not like that. Like, you can make friends, but you don't get invited to family cookouts. Like, if you don't know somebody in their circle, you're not getting invited anywhere. And so the people that I hang out with here, one's from Hawaii, one's from Colorado, plenty of them are from Texas. Like, all my friends here in Arkansas are not native Arkansans, because it seems like, and I haven't noticed that up in Northwest Arkansas. It's different up there in the Ozarks, but here in Central Arkansas, it's real cliquish.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's different for sure. But I mean, they're friendly, just not welcoming.
Yeah. How much fishing do you get to do, like, up there? And talk about the fishing, because you got trout fishing, you got warm water fishing. You like kind of have a nice plethora of almost everything.
Yeah, there's the fishing here is good. The past year and a half, I was in a relationship and didn't get to do much fishing. But I'm recently single, and so I've been fishing like crazy.
You hear that, ladies?
Exactly. But yeah, no, we here probably about 15 minutes from where I live, there's a cold water release, and so we got rainbow trout there. Pretty much year round. In summertime, it starts to get a little, water temperatures go up, dissolved oxygen goes down. But there's a lot of warm water around here. So there's smallmouth bass, there's largemouth bass spots. Of course, you got all your brim. A couple hours from here, you can go up, and I got the White River, the Little Red River, or I can go the other direction, go to Little Missouri, and you can get on brown trout, cutthroat trout. People catch brook trout, but I haven't caught any brook trout yet. And of course, rainbows. So you got trout fishing. I got pickerel fishing 20 minutes from me. Got, of course, bass and carp and koi. And so the fishery here is pretty good.
That's awesome. Yeah, like literally a little bit of everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Kind of like here in Central Texas. You get a little taste of everything.
Yeah. We do have a little bit more trout, though. We're not on the Dramalupe, so that is one nice thing that, I can look at an area and be like, there's too many people here. Let me drive 15 minutes the other way and still go catch trout. So that's always nice.
A real trout fishery. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So you guys just hit your year mark on the podcast, I saw.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Dude, that seems crazy.
It does. It's crazy in both aspects. Like, part of me is like, dude, I can't believe it's already been a year. And then I look back and I'm like, dude, a lot has happened in that year. So it's like flown by, but yet it feels like forever when I actually think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. And it feels crazy how long we've been doing ours as well.
How long have y'all been doing y'all's? Because I've been listening to y'all for probably 2-3 years, something like that.
4 or 5?
We started in 21, COVID.
No, we started in 20. We're ending our 4th year.
I was gonna say, I thought y'all started before COVID.
Yeah, we started in the summer of 2020, and so this summer will be 4 years.
I remember when the idea first came to be, dude. That was like 5 years ago.
Probably.
Yeah.
I remember getting a phone call from Landon at like 9:30 at night. Like, hey, Zach and I have an idea.
This is happening. This is going down.
I was like, we've got a lot going on. I'd love to be a part of it.
and then you were like, Then you're like, this sounds kind of lame. I'm gonna wait a couple years before I join. I want to make sure that this is a real thing.
You had to go through the whole journey
to be
introduced into fly fishing. I'm gonna take a year and a half off of fly fishing.
Yeah, you had your retirement in there too.
Yeah, but then he pulled a Jordan and he came back strong.
Yep, bald head and everything.
What made you stop fly fishing?
Oh, dude, a lot of things. I think one of the biggest things was probably COVID, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Just because at the time I worked in an outdoor store, and a lot of people were getting into fishing, like a ridiculous amount, which is great. I mean, not just fly fishing either, conventional stuff too. And it's really cool, getting to share and kind of teach people and see people getting excited for it. But at the same time, by the end of the day, I was so tired of like teaching and talking about it. And I just got burnt out like fast, like within a couple of months. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to I'm gonna do my own thing for a little while, do something else. But
Gotcha.
anyway, yeah, I'm back. It's here to stay. So it's all
That's
good.
awesome.
So, Zach, what are you tying?
I don't know.
Like, really? You don't know? You're just
Just
Hey,
Just
do you
put
have,
stuff
do you have
on
a
the
mystery bag too?
no, not a mystery bag. I'm just kind of
No.
putting things together, and if I don't like it, I'll cut it off and try it something else. And it's the creative process. It's the Bob Ross process. You
There's
know,
no only happy accidents.
exactly. It's like I don't really like that, but I'm gonna make it work.
Yeah, and
Sometimes
then
you get
if not, it goes in the burn bucket.
yeah. We don't have to talk about that. I got a new one. Look, oh shit,
Oh.
sorry. Look, it's empty so far. Look at this bad boy.
Oh,
It's gonna be full
look at
someday.
that. Yeah.
It's a growing burn barrel.
yeah, the burn barrel that most people would love to have any fly
Right.
in there, but just
Would
doesn't
pay
meet
good
the
money.
yeah, would pay good money, just doesn't meet the Zach Harris standards.
No.
His burn barrel
No.
looks better than 99.9% of the flies in my box.
Mhm.
I got it. I promise. I got it. No, it's not all bad flies. Some of them were like flies that I was trimming, and I trimmed too much, so trash. Or it's not all good flies. Some of them are actually bad. So
It's all flies that
in
would
my
catch a
own
fish.
defense.
Yeah.
Well,
Have you seen Zach's flies? I mean, come on. I think
Honestly.
you can
I
catch a fish on.
I
I
think
have.
we're quickly proving that fish are dumb. With
Zach,
the
you
things that-
single-handedly are proving that fish are way dumber than we ever thought.
Guys, just honestly, just
The
chew up
spark-
some gum and stick it on there, and then
The
throw
sparkle
it out
fart,
there.
man. The sparkle fart
Hey.
shouldn't be as deadly as it is.
Hey, man, it kills. It's everything I want it to be and everything they want it to be. So
I'm surprised
Dude,
that
I've
name
seen-
hasn't gotten Honey Hole canceled yet. Honestly,
the
I'll let
sparkle
you use your
fart.
imagination.
It's a beautiful name.
Well, when you say use your imagination, then yeah. But if you'd never said that to begin with, then it's perfectly fine.
Right.
No,
And plus,
I mean-
haven't you guys ever tried those little things they sell on Amazon when you eat it and then you poop gold?
What?
Wait, what?
You know, and the funny thing is, not only is it the first time I've ever heard of that, but I wouldn't be shocked if you had them, if you owned it.
Okay.
Honestly,
Okay. What is this?
I don't know. I feel like it's just a thing, right? You eat it and then you can poop gold or whatever color
feel
you
like
want.
it's the
He
thing. That's
feels
not
like
just
it's a
something you
thing.
make up off the top of your head.
It's like watch. Here, I'll try to find it.
Oh, so it is a real thing?
He's
I'm
checking
pretty sure
his,
it's a
he's
real
checking
thing.
his purchase history.
It's one of those late night dreams that he had that he's going to call the next morning and say, "Hey, I got this idea."
All right, let's see. I'm googling change your
Sharks.
poo colors.
I'd
for
like
fun.
I'd like to offer you 10% of my company for a $3,000 investment.
Dude, one time, this was probably like maybe 10 years ago. I texted Jose at like 3 in the morning. I said, hoo-ha shark baits, remind me in the morning. And he was like, what the hell? And so he called me the next morning. He's like, what was that text about? And I had this dream that I was making like self-chumming shark baits where I'll get like a yogurt container and, you know, put chum in there and then put a pre-baited hook, whether it be mullet or squid or something, crab. And then I'd freeze it. And I made a bunch of them and I went and pitched it to Walmart and Walmart started selling them. And I called them hoo-ha shark baits. And it was just this random dream that I had. And I
So it's
texted
like a
Jose.
bath bomb.
Yeah, like a bath bomb shark bait. Yeah.
Yeah,
On a big circle hook. And
Okay,
I
so-
told Jose about it and he's like, oh, dude, we should do that.
Yeah, so these are it's a real thing. It's kind of like a bath bomb for your poop. It's called they're called glitter pills, and it's a pill that you can take, and it changes your poop to a bunch of different colors.
Okay.
And you can buy it on Etsy. It's called the Unicorn Poo Pack, and you can make it sparkle or gold or green or purple or blue. So it exists.
See, I'd worry
Well,
about the
guys,
toxicity of that.
That's it for the show today. It's over. It's time to go.
That's how you really market the sparkle fart, though. That's how you commit to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russell,
Okay.
did you ever do anything with the shark bait thing?
No, never did.
No, you never
Never know.
tried it. You never.
No. And that's one thing that we talked about. Because at the time I was living in Kyle and Jose was living down in Kingsville. And I was like, dude, I just need to make some up and I'm going to come down and visit you in school. And then we're just going to go fishing on the weekend. And it just never happened. And I don't know why it didn't, because my family has some property in Rockport. So I used to go down to Rockport like often, but I just never tried it. I don't know. I feel like it would like be a decent idea. Just haven't done it.
It feels like it already. I mean, I don't want to like burst your bubble, but it feels like something like that probably already exists. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it
Fowler's
did.
still watching. He can confirm that, since he lives down in at the coast and all.
Right. Yeah, it was but yeah, this was like 10 years ago, and I just randomly texted him at 3 a.m, and he's like, dude, we should do it. And then nothing ever came of it. Maybe in 10 more years, like kind of like how the podcast thing came. Like we talked about it forever ago and finally did it. Maybe we'll do that someday.
The ideas take 10 years to come to
fruition.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, you'll be on Shark Tank one day, maybe.
Right. Just walking with a bucket full of rotten fish. Hear me out, guys.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
I mean, it is the Shark Tank. I mean,
right?
You could just.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean,
I could bring a big Shark Tank in and be like, "This is probably the first Shark Tank that's been on Shark Tank," and then use the bait and just watch them go nuts.
Yeah, there's also so many not memes, but like what's the word? There's so many things that you could say like in your pitch that is like kind of poking fun at the Shark Tank, or like you know, doing all of that as well with them being sharks and all of that you could like throw into the pitch. That would be awesome.
That would be
pun.
Yeah. Puns. That's the word I was looking for. Thanks, teacher.
All right, sharks, sink your teeth into this.
Oh man.
I've been hanging out with you guys too long. That's my problem.
So, Russell, what's your bucket list fishing trip?
Man, that's a tough one. We've asked that question to quite a few of our guests, and I feel like mine changes every single time. Like it's recently it was the bonefish in Bahamas, which didn't happen. Tarpon's one of them. You know, roosterfish in Baja is one of them. Just a lot of tropical ones are ones that I want to go after. If you asked me a few months ago, I would have said koi or carp. But I've checked both those off the list the past month. So, yeah, it changes all the time, but probably something big and something tropical. Tarpon or bonefish, permit, roosterfish, anything like that.
Your bucket list species. I have good news for you. Those are pretty attainable species for a bucket list, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
if I can get to the location.
Well, yeah. But it's not like you're wanting to go chase, like, I don't know, what's those fish off the coast of Africa that were thought to be extinct for like hundreds of years or whatever?
Not sure.
They look like a Pokemon.
Like the oarfish?
No, the relic.
Relicant?
Jeez, yeah, it looks like that. It looks like that. That's what that's based off of. I think I can't think of it. Anyway,
I think if it swims, I'm down to catch it. So, but I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about, so I wouldn't put that on my bucket list. But you know, of course, and then Golden Dorado is one, and GT's another. You know, there's a bunch of them. Actually, one thing that I do want to do. Have y'all ever heard of Nicholas Bauer?
Yeah.
So he does the fly versus jerk tournaments and stuff like that, and so he's out of Sweden, and he does a lot of tournaments where they're out there catching just these massive northern pike, and he does it's normally conventional against fly, and it's him and his team Vision Fly Fishing, and there's a few other fly fishing teams, but majority of them are conventional. And dude, he's catching these massive northern pike, but he actually made a video, I want to say it was a few months ago, where they went halibut fishing on the fly over there in Norway. And I was like, dude, that would be freaking sick.
How do you catch a halibut on the fly?
I don't remember. They were tying up flies and basically jigging them, if I'm not mistaken. But they were hooking into some massive halibut on the fly. I feel like that'd be fun. A fun fight.
That would be cool.
That'd be fun to do just for the halibut.
Right. It took me a second on that
it's
one.
Actually over.
That was a good one. That required some thought behind that one. That was
Well played. Well played. All right,
That was
Zach,
embarrassing.
you brought it. You brought a game for us. Let's bring it
did.
on out.
So it's everybody's favorite game, where we talk about 5 different items and you guys rank them in your favorite order. However, you do not know the next thing I'm going to say. So what I did is I went to ChatGPT and I searched for the 5 best bass flies.
This feels slightly repetitive.
Yeah, it probably is. But you know what
So,
though?
What
You guys-
ChatGPT thinks are the best 5 bass
The
flies?
5 best bass flies. I mean, hey guys, it'll take me 2 seconds if you guys want to do a different fish. I don't care.
And did ChatGPT rank them in order? So we are trying to match ChatGPT's ranking.
They did rank them in order.
Okay.
All right. So
You
are
gonna
you guys
randomly
ready?
pull? You're not gonna tell us
I'm
which
gonna
ones?
I'm gonna randomly pull and tell you guys, and you guys gotta pick a spot for it.
All right, let's do it.
However, I will say 2 of them are less specific and more general. That makes sense. All right. All right.
That's
So
fine.
you guys ready? All right. Woolly bugger.
You know what? I'm gonna put that in number 1. Honestly,
All
I'm just gonna
right.
jump right in. Number 1.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna stay safe. Put that middle of the road, number 3.
All right.
And I'm
Wait,
going number.
wait. Is it a beadhead woolly bugger or just a regular woolly bugger?
This is woolly bugger. Hey,
So it could be any variation, like a beadhead.
variation.
Okay.
Zach,
Alright.
you're
Yeah.
supposed to have the answers to these questions when we play this
Yeah.
game.
What the hell? You're
hey,
changing.
and I'm saying
You're
hey,
changing.
close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Yeah.
Imagine a woolly bugger. What do you see?
This feels very vague. I think you're being too safe here.
What? I thought I was really trying to give you a great visualization tactic. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'm putting it at number 2.
okay.
Number 1.
All right. Next one. Poppers. And this is the more generalized one.
Number 5.
Okay.
I'm putting it at 4.
Number 3.
All right. You guys ready for the next one?
Yep.
The Dahlberg Diver.
Damn it. Number 4.
Oh, I can't put that at 5. But I'll
Number
go
5.
2. 2 or 5. I guess I'm gonna go 5. I feel like this come back and bite me.
Clouser minnow.
Number 1.
This is the 3rd one, right?
4th.
This is the 4th one?
Yeah, 4th one.
Oh, yeah. Number 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and put that in number 1.
Okay. All right, and the last one, and this is the other, like, more broad one. Crawfish patterns.
Crawfish patterns. That
Yeah.
one doesn't count. We can't do that. You know how many different crawfish patterns there are?
You know how many different poppers there are?
Yeah, but true. But at least poppers are like a specific thing. They only do one thing. They float and they make a noise, like they pop.
Right.
The crawfish, like you could have a popper that's a crawfish pattern. You know, you could have. That's too general. I think that.
So
Well-
Zach, close your eyes. Imagine a crawfish. That's the one I want you to rank. And to be honest, you have 1 spot left. So it's not like it can go anywhere else.
Wait, what's my last spot? Number 2.
2.
I guess it works out. All right.
I think
all
I
right.
have 4. I think I have 4 left.
Yeah, Russell has 2 as well, so that's where it's gonna go.
I'm pretty happy with my list, to be honest.
All right.
Fly number 6, the one with the hook in it.
Close your
It's
eyes.
actually a Frenchie, okay, guys?
Zach, close your eyes and whatever you imagine.
When I say the word fly, whatever comes to your head, that's what you're gonna rank next. All right, so you guys want to know the Chat GPT order?
I bet it
Yeah.
put Dahlberg Diver as number one.
It did not actually.
No?
Actually, Landon got it 5 for 5. It went Clouser
What?
Minnow,
Oh,
Woolly
Landon, that just
Booger,
shows how
Let's
basic
go.
your opinions are.
Poppers,
That just
Crawfish, and the Dahlberg Diver. So
Oh.
I don't know how he did it, but he went 5 for
no.
5.
I'll tell you my strategy.
He
Your
Googled
strategy's
before.
No.
vanilla.
He chat
No,
It's
no.
as vanilla as it gets.
No. My strategy is Chat GPT is combing the internet for data. So how many articles are going to have like Woolly Bugger, Clouser Minnow in the top 5? I knew that those two would be on the list. So those were going to be my 1 and 2. I'm thinking about how much information is available off of the internet based on these flies and calculated what Chat GPT would answer.
So
Yeah, when I
Russell
first-
and I are going off of pure like personal knowledge and skill, and you're like faking it.
No,
Well, I mean,
Like,
hey,
if
you know what?
I was
Landon
to-
won though, so
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. You know, maybe
If-
you guys need to check your guts a little bit.
If I was ranking him personally, I'd go Poppers 1, Crawfish 2, Clouser Minnow 3, Woolly Bugger 4,
You can't
Dahlberg
change it
Diver 5.
now.
I'm not. I won.
You just
I'm just
did.
telling you my personal ranking.
You just
I'm
changed
not-
If
I
it was
won.
up, if
Why?
it was up to
You
me,
was playing the game, you changed this shit. Why? Why can't you just stick with one answer?
I don't think you understand the game, Zach.
We called you out, and now you're like, oh well, actually, if
No,
I
no,
was
no.
actually gonna play with my own opinions, because that's what the game was.
No. The game wasn't playing with your own opinions. Zach gave the rules, and the game was
With the
to
match
rank them,
GPT. Yeah.
matching
Wow.
them to Chat GPT.
There was a winner in this situation.
What did he
I
win?
thought,
What did he win?
what do you want?
He won a Yeti Panga badge.
No, oh yeah. No, Zach. Whenever you fill your dumpster flies jar, I want that jar
You can have it.
with flies in it, not emptied.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just get the jar.
Yeah.
He
would pull
dump
that.
it out and just hand you the jar.
Or he would burn it in front of you and
Yeah.
then be like, here you go.
Yeah.
This is the burn jar for a reason.
Oh,
All right, hey,
Gotta
good
save
job,
my hopes.
everybody. Good job. I knew there can only be one winner, but you know,
I think everybody wins. We all
not in
get a
this
ribbon.
case. But
We all get a ribbon.
I'll give you everybody a thumbs up. So.
Nobody's getting kicked from the team here, Zach.
Did you guys? I think Zach, you had said that you saw it. Harris, did you see the message I sent yesterday about how Riverside labeled our conversation about distance casting?
I didn't see it. No, I saw the text you sent us today.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Or yeah, it would have been yesterday, I think.
Oh, yesterday, whenever. Wait, you said. Oh, hang on, you cut out a little bit. What did you say?
So we were talking about distance casting on one of our prior episodes.
Right.
Do you remember that specifically? I removed it from
yeah.
the episode. Okay.
Yes, I do.
So when I uploaded, like, Riverside like puts captions on all the videos, and they'll give you like sections, and they'll label them with the title. And that was labeled like conversations about distance casting with sarcasm. So like it recognized that the whole time we were having that conversation, it was with sarcasm. And I thought that was crazy that it would recognize that we were
Surely-
being sarcastic.
It is
Surely
weird
it
they can
picks
pick up on
on
that.
Yeah.
like intonation or something, right?
Yeah,
like
it
it
would
has to
have
pick
had-
up on that.
It would have had
Right.
to have. It would have had to.
Because if
That is
not,
pretty weird though.
that's scary. Zach, you
It
should
was,
be
dude.
you should be
it was-
afraid that AI is taking over the world. Actually, not
AI is taking
aliens.
over the world. However,
You should
though,
be
like,
afraid of it.
yeah, but AI is not going to take me at night.
Well,
Yeah.
it's more likely than aliens. So far,
Have you
anyway.
seen how big the universe is? You're going to straight up sit here
Yeah,
and
but
look at
AI
me,
is already
bold
here,
face
dog.
in the
You already
eyes,
got
and
to
tell
worry
me
about it.
that the aliens aren't going to come get me.
They probably are. They're the
But
ones.
after AI.
Yeah, AI is gonna actually hand deliver you to those.
Hey,
Anyway.
maybe you got this all wrong. Maybe aliens will be like our savior, you know, in the AI
What if?
world.
Whoa! What if we're creating the aliens with AI?
Ooh.
An idea.
Like
What if
AI is gonna
we
start
are
making next
actually
superhuman.
starting alternate life forms in the universe? What if it's caused by us?
What if we're AI?
Ooh, we don't need to
And
start
it's
that
all just a
conversation
cinnamon.
because I won't go to sleep tonight. I will lay, think about it, and try to look for, what do they say? Glitches in the matrix.
Yeah.
It happens.
Oh, they're there.
My
If you look
cat is
hard
one
enough.
of them.
Yeah.
She's a glitch.
That should not be physically possible.
Yeah, exactly. Right, Puma? Say something.
Hey,
She's
Russell.
not talking right now.
Why don't you wanted to talk about the cicadas hatch that's about to happen? Why don't you kind of fill us in, because that's like more your neck of the woods than it will be our neck of the woods.
Yeah, I'm just a little south of where they're supposed to be pretty heavy. North Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas is supposed to get a good amount of them. Grant was actually texting me earlier asking about it, and from all the research that I've done, which I've done quite a bit, we're gonna have brood 19 here, which is a 13-year cicada, and just in the entomology of them, in they're for 13 years they're in a larval stage and they eat soft roots. So if anybody's wanting to go and look where they're gonna fish the cicada hatch, if you're in the northern regions, a good tool that you can do is actually look at historical Google imaging. So if you say, okay, well, there's this specific body of water that I want to fish, go and look 10 years back and see if there's been development in that area. Because there's a lot of areas where it's like, oh, well, last time they hatched, 13 years ago, they were hot and heavy in this area. Well, if within the past 13 years, there's been a lot of development, trees have been removed and all sorts of stuff like that, then the cicada larvae aren't going to have anything to feed on. So that's one thing that I didn't even think about before I started doing research on it. So in this area, it's going to be brood 19 that's going to be coming through. If you're looking to fish, the double hatch that everybody's saying, you're going to have to be up in the Midwest for that, because brood 13 is the 17-year brood that is hatching this year also, but that's going to be up in like Michigan, Illinois, stuff like that. It's going to be ground zero for that, and they will also be getting brood 19. But brood 19 is the largest brood of all cicadas, and it covers basically from, I think, even northern parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then all the way up to the Northeast. So it's a pretty large region.
Where they both are hatching at the same time, it's supposed to be like apocalyptic in numbers, how many are going to be there. I wish I could witness it so bad.
Right. I was trying
So
to plan a
cool.
trip to the Midwest just so I could be around it, because it's supposed
so
to be
is every
insane.
other. So is every other outdoors person.
Right.
Hey,
right.
wait, how long is it gonna last? I'm gonna be in Tennessee in like the end of June, and then I'm also going up to Illinois is a little far, but
About 6 weeks is from when they start to really be active. Their adult life is only 6 weeks. So
okay.
So you'll get them a little bit longer, because there are going to be some hatches that are going to be earlier, some are later. So you're looking at 6 to 8 week period where it's supposed to be really good.
That's cool.
But could you imagine living a life like that? Like being a child for 13 years and then like 6
Most of
weeks
us
as an
are.
adult? Well, and then being an adult for 6 weeks, and then that's it. You're done.
No, that'd be crazy. Most of us are children for like 26 years and then an adult for the rest.
Hell,
So
I'm 31 and I'm still a child. So
yeah, me too. I play with toys all day long. That's all I do.
Well, I don't think that fishing, and I'd be curious about your guys' opinion on this. I think fishing is going to be really difficult during the cicada hatch, because fish are going to get
So loud.
high protein meals easily at their disposal. And so you're going to have fish that are going to find easy meals, and at some point they're not going to eat anymore.
It depends on how you look at it, because those fish, it's not like the first cicadas are going to fall in the water and the fish are immediately going to start chowing. It's going to take a week or two for those fish to get like accustomed, like, oh, this is food. I need to be hunting these. And then after that initial like introduction period happens, the fish are going to go crazy on it. I think it's going to
I think you probably have like a couple day window that is going to be prime, and hitting
I
that
bet you
window.
have more than that. I bet you have more than that. I'd
'Cause
say
even
a couple of weeks.
Even like on major hatches and stuff like stonefly hatches and stuff like too, where you get the crazy ones, it's like the window is very small. Like it's just like you had to be there that day, because even a day later, either the fish have already gorged themselves on stoneflies and you can't get them to eat, or something else. So I think it's going to be.
I think it's going to be a little bit different, just because this. So let's say a mayfly hatch, typically, yeah, you're going to get a lot of different species going after those mayflies, but there's typically a handful of specific species that really key in on them, right? And get really hot on them. Cicadas, I think it's gonna attract a lot of fish, bass, trout, carp, whatever can get it in its mouth. You know, it's
For
gonna,
sure.
Yeah.
yeah. So I
I
don't know.
think
I think the
there's
window's gonna be longer.
I think so too, but I think there's also a big difference between, stoneflies, mayflies, and the larval stage of a cicada. Cicadas are everywhere. They're not mainly near water, where a lot of those other ones are. So you're not going to have as many of them in just the water areas because, the hatches aren't going to be just on the riverbanks. They're going to be in the middle of the fields, in the middle of the woods, and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be as heavily concentrated around waterways.
That's not a bad point.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, for
I
sure.
will, I will say, just because I'm a Italian nerd, so, and this isn't, I'm not like endorsed, or we aren't like endorsed or anything by this guy, but Dave Zielinski wrote a book about Cicada Madness. That's the ring light. Anyway, Cicada Madness, and I bought it because there's a lot of cool fly patterns in there. But if anybody wants to know that book has like everything you need to know about what's going on, and it has a good handful of fly patterns and basic tutorials on how to tie them. It's a pretty cool book.
When did
Cicada
that book come
Madness.
out? When did that book come out?
Sometime in the last 6 months, I think. I
Okay.
think in like October. Let's see. Yeah, copyright 2023. I think it was like around October-ish is when it came out.
Okay, that's
I
cool.
think.
Have you tied anything from there yet?
Not yet. Not
You
yet.
going to?
Eventually, yeah. Once we start
Yeah.
getting our cicadas falling, then
Yeah.
I might. I'm not
Yeah.
like, it's not like they are everywhere else where they're going to get these badass hatches because it's just normal annuals for us. So I'm not
Yeah.
like, I don't feel pressure to tie them. We have pretty much all summer to tie them. So
Yeah.
Do you guys do anything with the bodies that you find?
I usually leave them on the ground or on the trees.
What do you do with them, Zach?
Yeah, you fry them, you eat them, you put them in a little stir fry
I've heard they taste
with
nutty.
your
I've heard they taste
shit
nutty
coloring.
as well.
Yeah.
I've heard they taste nutty. Yeah.
Actually, so okay, slightly off. Have you guys eaten like crickets or anything?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are pretty good. Those are nutty. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought them at HEB, believe it or not.
Really?
They're not bad.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
No store doors
They
does
pay-
more, man.
Yeah. Did you guys used to eat the big ants in like the elementary
No.
school like
Yeah.
playground when you were
Yep.
a kid?
No,
Yeah.
no,
your
I
finger-
didn't.
Yeah, exactly. You bet your friends like, hey, but you can't eat one of these, and you're
Yeah.
like, you're on.
Did
And
you
get
guys have
screwed.
did you guys know a kid that would eat worms? Because I
Yeah.
did.
My
I
brother
I was
would
not
do
got
it.
that kid.
I
I
was not that kid, but I knew that kid.
I
No,
got
I
a
eat an
worm
ant
story.
every now and then, but a worm, no go.
So
My
I remember
daughter
this
ate a whole box of
specifically.
mealworms the other day.
Oh my
I got them as a
God.
prank for my oldest daughter and woke up the next morning and found the empty box. And I asked my youngest, said, where'd those go? She's like, I ate them, Daddy. They taste like barbecue. I was like,
Yeah.
they were
Well, that was the
barbecue
flavor, right?
mealworms. She ate the whole box of them.
Oh, so they were like food though. It was you didn't buy them at PetSmart.
Yeah, no, I bought them at I think we went to a museum here or something like that. And it was just
Okay.
kind of like a gag gift.
I thought you bought like mealworms you feed to a bearded dragon.
No,
Just
I
like
probably would eat those too, though.
Guys, I'm worried about your daughter. When I was in kindergarten, so you guys ever like you see an acorn on the ground and they got a little hole in them? If you break them
Uh-huh.
open, sometimes there's little grubs in there. I don't know what they
Mhm.
are exactly. I just know there's little grubs in there. Well, in kindergarten, I remember this like in detail. In kindergarten, we had an empty like chip bag, me and my friends, and we were collecting those worms. Like we had a full blown assembly line of people collecting acorns, people shelling them, and people bagging the worm. I'm not even joking. It's really weird. Anyways, I decided to be the caretaker of the worms when we were done, when recess was over. And I put them in my pocket, the bag. I put the bag in my pocket, and they all got out. It was terrible.
in your pocket.
It was horrible.
That's
There were like
hilarious,
1,000
though.
of the damn things in there. I'm telling you, we were little workers collecting all the worms.
You know, I think we did that too with those little caterpillars that like are like,
And they've got they're like gray with the yellow spots.
yeah, we did
Yeah.
that, but we put them in like a playhouse, like like a jungle gym thing. We
Mhm.
made a big ball of them, Unfortunately, we did step on all of them and kill them, but
On accident, right?
I don't know if it was on accident. I mean, I wish I could tell you I was that person as like an 8-year-old. I don't think I was. So
Jeez.
I'm pretty
Pretty
sure all those
gross.
worms died.
That's
It was. I remember it. Yeah, it took a couple stomps. It was not a one and done. So,
dude. I had a dream about those caterpillars one time that they were like 3 feet long. And when
wait. Same diameter?
Wait.
Same diameter?
No,
Like a whip?
proportional. Like they were huge. And
Wait.
when like you
Did you freeze them in a yogurt cup and sell them to Walmart in your dream?
Not yet.
Wait, what?
No, I had a dream that they were huge, right? Proportional. They were huge. And you know how when you kind of like freak them out, I guess, and they're trying to get away from the predator, they start like going crazy and bouncing all over the place. Well, imagine like 3-foot versions doing that, like the front yard full of them. It's horrifying.
I don't want to imagine it.
Do it.
It sounds awful.
Imagine it. Actually, have
Right,
ChatGPT look
wait.
that up for you.
Wait, here I go. Here, I'll imagine it.
Yeah, close your eyes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to do that again.
Dude, when I was a kid, we lived in Arizona, and we used to go and catch everything that we could. And those little clear plastic containers you get at little circuses and stuff like that, where you win a goldfish, it comes in a little container.
Okay.
So we'd get those, and we'd put tarantulas and wasps and ants and centipedes, millipedes, and put them all in there and just let them fight to the death. So we used to do that all the time. The wasp always seemed to win, either the wasp or the ants.
Every time.
How would you catch the wasp exactly?
My brother would just grab it. He was,
wow.
Yeah.
He's more of a man than I will ever be.
Yeah, right.
Dude, have you seen that guy that just goes and grabs the whole live wasp nest, and just puts it in his mouth and starts chewing on it?
What?
Yeah.
I feel like I have.
I mean, he has to be on the spectrum for one, but secondary to that,
man,
it has some stones.
I don't know what to believe on the internet anymore, honestly.
No.
Like I've been seeing ever since this AI the boom in the past year where it can make these images that you can't tell what's fake and what's not anymore.
Yeah.
I just
probably
believe
just get off.
everything's fake.
Right.
This podcast is fake. This is all AI generated.
Yep. I'm not even.
We don't even exist.
Yep.
Right.
I got a question for you guys. I don't think we've asked this on the podcast. What's the dumbest thing you guys did as a kid?
A lot.
Oh, I don't even know if I can narrow that down.
Yeah, right.
Okay, let's get specific with dumb. Like, what exactly are you asking? Like stupid, like dangerous, or just
dangerous?
Like you got in trouble because one time I flipped off the cameras at Six Flags, and then they told me that they were kind of coming after me, and that
Who told you?
The guy who worked at the camera store, like the photo place, like at the photos, and you have to.
This was on a roller coaster. Like you're going down, and you're just flipping.
And I gave him the double barrel. You know what I mean? and then I walked to the screens, and I couldn't find my picture, and the guy, and I was probably like 12. I was in middle school. And the guy was like, I need you to come with me. And I was like, wait, what? And so he walked me around the corner and he was like, we had to delete your photo. And now the people behind you can't enjoy their photo because of what you did. And I was like, oh no. They're like, we called and they're coming for you. We're not going to hold you, but just so you know, they're coming for you all day long today.
Oh my God.
Right? And I had a baseball cap on, and I remember I took it off and shoved it in my pocket. I tried to flip my shirt inside out just to change who I was. I just,
You pulled out the glasses with the mustache so they couldn't recognize you.
Exactly.
You're the type of person you would carry that too, the glasses with the mustache.
Honestly, I had some, and I had some vampire teeth for a good portion of my childhood.
That's all right. I think I wore a Batman cape until I was 11.
Oh, that's a great story.
That is.
Yeah, that one still gives me nightmares. So I still every time I go to Six Flags, I'm like, they're coming for me. They did the age software and they found me.
I'm gonna manifest tonight. You have a nightmare that the aliens are coming after you at Six Flags.
No, that's the worst. I don't need that in my life.
AI
during Fright Fest,
now.
During Fright Fest, I don't know if they do it every year, but at Six Flags, by where it's supposed to be the high school in the 50s or whatever, they made that look like aliens crash landed there one year. you would have
That's
shit
pretty
your
cool.
pants. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was like fog machines, and like they were just in your face. Like
Were
one
they
minute
like
they're
little
not
green
there, the next
men?
minute what?
Were they like little green men? Like those are the ones that really get me, you know.
Really?
Like Mars Attacks. Like that's
Mm.
the one that gets me to my core.
This is good
You know.
information. This is great information.
Zach's like, I'm
You know,
storing
those
all
are
this.
scary. Mars Attacks is fine. You know, they actually Care Bears are technically aliens. You
Dude, I
know,
cannot wait until the
so.
next real recovery.
Oh,
It's so
no.
good.
All right, this is all fun and games, and then you guys are actually gonna see a grown man cry. All right. So-
Harris, Russell, do you guys have any good childhood stories? Dangerous, dumb.
I have a lot of them. I remember one time, whenever you asked, one of the things that came to mind, I used to live over in Creedmoor, and I found this old Huffy bike. You remember the old, like, bluish purple Huffy bike? And just found one. It was in the alleyway, and it was all rusted. It had been there for a little while. And I left it there for about a week. I was like, if nobody gets this in a week, I'm going to take it. And so I took it and put new rims or new inner tubes in it. And I was like, yeah, this is my bike, you know. And I mean, it was a junker. And then there was an abandoned house in a cul-de-sac that was probably like 3 blocks over from where I was at, and they had built a half pipe, like a plywood half pipe, and it was in 2 pieces so they could move it around. And so I decided that I was going to take half of it and use it like a ramp, and I didn't know physics, so a half pipe shoots you straight up. And so I came riding as fast as I could on this piece of crap Huffy bike that was all rusted that I found in an alleyway, and tried to jump the half of the half pipe. Yeah, it didn't turn out fun because it was probably about a 3 or 4 foot tall half pipe, and it just launched me straight up, and I just came straight back down. It was rough.
Oh man,
Well,
yeah, that's not fun.
I don't think I have any particular, not that I never did anything, but I don't think I have any particular story that I'm like, oh wow, that was ridiculous. My whole childhood was a ridiculous stunt, if you want to say that. I raced BMX since I was like 8 years old, so it's like all normal to me, all the crazy stuff. I don't really have anything.
So this is when I was living in Ohio. We would.
Wait, I'm gonna stop
what?
you real quick. Can you guys hear my neighbors very poorly singing karaoke by any chance?
No.
No.
I just wanted to make sure. They're really bad
Okay.
at it. I hope they don't watch this, but if you are watching right now, please stop singing. Please
Please.
stop.
So
All
I'm
right.
begging you. It's been 3 days.
this is when I was living in Ohio. So this is like middle school for me. And my neighbor, my buddy Ted, if in a miracle you're listening to this, what's up, Ted? So his brother was older, and he would had like a tree trimming business, and he would use the climbing ropes to climb up the tree, and they would chainsaw them down. This is Ohio, so like the trees are huge, unlike Texas. And so we would take that rope and we would climb to the top of the tree in his yard, and we would tie the rope to the top of the tree. And then he had a small tractor, and we'd take the bottom of the rope and we would wrap the rope around the bottom of another tree. Then we would take rope and we would make harnesses and take carabiners that are not meant for climbing, and we would clip in at the top of the tree and zip line to the bottom of another tree. And for some miracle, nothing bad ever happened. But I always think back to that. Like I could something really terrible could have happened from us doing that.
That could have been so bad.
That kind of reminded me of a story. I got one. This is from middle school. So do you guys remember when airsoft was like a thing?
Mhm.
Everybody would play airsoft before paintball got real popular. Well, some friends on the bus used to play airsoft all the time. And I was like, me and some other friends were like, yeah, we want to play too. We didn't have airsoft guns. So they all had like we didn't call it this, but their sidearms. Like they had the big rifle airsoft guns and they had the pistols. So they gave us all the pistols. And we're going to play a game called the Alamo. We're like, oh, this should be fun, right? And they're like, yeah, you guys are the Texans. And they put us in the treehouse. And the rule was we weren't allowed to leave. These assholes. We're going underneath and shooting through the floorboards at us. Oh my God. That was terrible. That's my story. That's not as exciting as ziplining on your key holders.
Oh yeah, seriously. It makes me nervous thinking, now looking back at it, I get nervous thinking about it. And as a kid, you're like, oh, this is just what you do. You just use your tired climbing rope to zip line from the top of one tree. And what was the most scary thing was you would come in hot to the bottom of the tree. And like, so you would have to like, as soon as you hit the ground, you'd have to like hop step so you wouldn't just like plow into the bottom of the tree.
I'm kind of amazed that you guys got the rope tight enough to do that.
See, he had a tractor, like a lawnmower size tractor, but it wasn't a lawnmower.
How old
And
were
so,
you?
I was in middle school, so this was like 6th, 7th grade, probably.
You guys are okay. All right, it's not that bad driving the tractor to stretch the rope. I was
Yeah,
picturing
yes.
like 5-year-old Landon for some reason.
No. No,
Man.
I don't even remember 5-year-old Landon.
Me neither. It was
No, I remember one time I complained because my kindergarten teacher gave everybody presents for Christmas, and she gave all the girls like a big box, and then all the boys got like a little tiny thing, and all the boys complained because it was smaller. But we got Legos, which was the shit, and we didn't know it at the time. And I remember that to this day because she was upset and hurt.
Oh, that's
So-
your guilt story?
Yeah, that's my guilt.
Your
Oh.
guilt.
Yeah.
I got him locked.
So that's a downer right there.
He's like, screw your zip lining. I got Legos. I was mad about it.
I made my teacher feel bad.
Yeah, it wasn't just me. It was all the boys. But you know,
What did the girls get?
I don't remember. I
feel
think
like
I
It
that's
was
something you
wasn't.
should
so
It
have
wasn't as
sad.
cool as Legos.
It was not as cool as Legos because I remember opening it and being like, "Oh yeah, we were wrong. This is dope." And the girls suck. So.
Man.
Yeah. We used to play airsoft a lot when I lived over there in Kyle. Me and my best friend growing up, his name is Bradley, and we used to go back. And there was this little area where everybody it was the houses that butted up to the woods, and they would just throw all their trash over the back fence. And so there was like rotten wood and old dog houses and mattresses and stuff. And so we built this like awesome, like it was like a bunker, and we took one of those igloo dog houses and put it on top and left a hole open, and we'd use it like a turret. Like we could turn it and shoot out of it.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
dude, we used to freaking play airsoft all the time, but I only had a pistol. And he had a semi-auto rifle, and then his younger brother got a fully auto rifle, and so it was never fun. I was always just getting shot by everybody.
Dude, that's so funny. We did the same thing because I had 3 brothers, like 1 real brother and 2 stepbrothers.
Uh-huh.
And I had like a Desert Eagle, which was sick and it was super powerful, but it had like 1 shot at a time, and then it would be like took all your strength
Right.
to recock it, you know? And then like they all had like this little semi-automatic. They weren't like big, like little, Uzi looking things,
Yeah.
but they were like,
Yep.
I had to be tactful with my shots.
We got the cops called on us one time playing airsoft because a lady thought that we were playing with real guns.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we showed the cop, and he's like, "Oh, these are airsoft." Like he was like annoyed that he even had to come out. He's like, "These are obviously airsoft guns." But it's still kind of nervous for kids, right? Because if you're like in middle school and a cop is like hunting
Oh,
you down,
yeah.
like
Right.
you're the kids with the guns, like
You
it was.
feel like
it
you're
was
going to be on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One time
I got another story, but I'll tell it to you guys after the podcast. So remind me.
So the cop thing reminded me of another story. Me and my closest friend, we've known each other since we were a year old, dude. Like he's been there my entire life. His dad always used to buy really cool, like CO2 powered airsoft pistols, right?
Mhm.
No, BBs or whatever they were. I don't remember if it was like steel BBs or plastic. Anyway, but we used to like to walk around and just shoot random targets like in his yard. And one day we were like, let's walk around the neighborhood and do this. And so we're carrying, and remember, they're not just airsoft, so they didn't have the orange tips on them. Like they looked real. And nobody saw us, but his dad came flying up to us in the car and like screeched to us, down, "Get in the car, you little shits. Like, what are you doing? You're going to get yourself killed out here." Yeah, and then his dad drove off before my buddy actually got in the car, which was even funnier. That's the funny part. I guess you have to be there. I was in the car. He wasn't.
That's
Pretty
funny.
hilarious.
It's like, I'm just taking my kid. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
I was not his kid.
Oh, it was his dad.
Yeah, it was his dad. Sorry, his dad.
That's even
funny.
better.
His dad.
Oh
yeah.
man.
But,
Let's see. I ran over my buddy's foot in my first Jeep.
oh,
So yeah, he was. So
Did
my
it
first
break
Jeep
his
was-
foot?
It did not. It was like an old like 2000s Jeep, and so like the top was off, and he was like, "Hey, what if I hang off the side of it while you drive me to my car?"
So it's
And I
his
was
fault.
like, I mean, I'm thinking that, right? And so he just couldn't handle it when I went over the speed bump, you know. And so
He couldn't handle it when I went over the speed bump at 63 miles an hour. It's his fault.
he did. He took a tumble and I ran right over his foot, but he was okay. He walked it off.
I bet you shit your pants though.
You should see his limp now, but it's a.
Zach, you had another story for the podcast, didn't you?
Yeah, I have two more. I'll do the quick one first, and that is on the Appalachian Trail that somebody has found dog treats that have been sprinkled throughout the trail, but they jammed fish hooks in them.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
What the
and
hell is wrong with people, dude?
yeah, and so I was like trying to see like benefit of the doubt, like maybe somebody was carp fishing and they just did it. But no, they like there's like 3 or 4 hooks just like jammed randomly into these things. So it's very clearly.
Nobody carp fishes with milk bones, okay? That's
Well, they look like pigs in a blanket, you know. So
sorry.
yeah, honestly, no. Like I saw that and I was like, that dude, that's ridiculous.
So
no reported injuries so far. Let's see. It is near. It's in Pennsylvania, near the Lehigh Gap.
Dude, that's scary because some of those people, what if they pick them up for their dogs, like they're hiking the trail, and don't give it to them until they're like way off the grid?
Yeah,
That dog's in trouble at that point.
Well,
Well, not
I
just
don't
dogs,
think
like-
I don't think like if I found a dog treat on the trail, I wouldn't give it to my dog if it was my option. Like I would not. I don't
even know if I pick it up.
But my concern would be is that he is like really good at finding treats and finding things on his own, and so he would eat it, and I wouldn't be aware of it. That would be the scarier situation.
Yeah. Yeah, or not to mention like
you'd
the
be
wild
aware
animals that
pretty
would eat it too.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, dude, that's
No, but I couldn't believe I saw that. Like, yeah, there are some people who were just like, but then like I was reading that article and was talking more and more. This is apparently like an issue of people who like. I mean, obviously, like some people are awful, but they like intentionally set traps for either animals or people in places like that. Let's see. It was talking about one. Somewhere else in Pennsylvania that they would go to like mountain biking trails and they would set a cable across from like tree to tree so mountain bikers would hit it and flip over their bikes on purpose. And there was one more.
I have to apologize. I laughed a little bit because I thought of that scene from Big Daddies when they're throwing the sticks. A little funny. A little bit funny. I mean, it's terrible in real life, but it's a little bit funny sometimes.
Oh man.
Me and my best friend growing up, Bradley, when I talked about earlier, we used to go and stand on either side of the road and act like we were pulling a rope when cars would come, and they'd slam on their brakes, but we wouldn't have anything.
Yeah.
They would get so pissed.
They slam on the brakes and this probably just like slowly drive over, like just to make sure. That's great though. Let's see. The other thing I want to talk about was that TPWD still has their public comment opened until May 22nd for their proposed mountain lion regulations. And so I don't know if you guys saw the movie Deep in the Heart. It was that conservation film documentary. It had like Matthew McConaughey narrating. And they had one section talking about mountain lions. And how like as of right now there is no regulation for hunting them. You know, they're a predator, and so it's kind of just like you can do whatever you want. And so their main thing is that people are leaving out these traps that go unmaintained and they don't check them, and they end up either killing the mountain lion after days and days of it kind of suffering, or what ends up happening is they also like can maim these black bear populations that we're really trying to encourage to gain that population again in Texas, because you know they went away for a little bit and now they're kind of making a comeback, right? Like they're even moving from Big Bend eastward, you know, more towards like central Texas, which is it's cool, you know. And so their proposed regulations are stopping canned hunts, which are more of like when somebody would catch a mountain lion and then they would take it somewhere and release it in a fenced-in area strictly for the purpose of hunting that mountain lion. So they would, from my understanding, they would completely be banning that. And then the other thing is it would actually set regulation to trapping standards as far as like how often they would have to check them, as well as setting the poundage on them for like a certain amount. That way, like if it did get one, other animals would be able to break free or wouldn't get certain animals below that threshold. And then they would still have that 36-hour requirement of checking it just to make sure that no animal was suffering longer than it had to. And so like I'm for hunters hunting anything no matter what, as long as it's regulated, right? Like somebody has to look into that to make sure we're not, because every instance for our entire history as a country is every time we don't regulate something, we hunt it or to death, essentially,
well,
or to the
I
brink
just
of it.
just one thing on that, Zach. I
Yeah.
think when appropriate, because if we and I agree that the mountain lion thing needs to happen, and like canned hunts is dumb. Like I don't even get the sport in that, first of
Yeah.
all. But and then checking that, like, these are not unreasonable requests just to at all. As a hunter, I am very much like want to see, like, if you're going to hunt an animal, like, you should check the traps, you should do your due diligence and make sure that you're doing it the right way. So that thing. But also on the other hand, like, wild hogs are a problem. I don't think anybody's going to be screaming down for regulations on hunting wild hogs. They're an invasive species. And so I think on a case by case basis that you look at each species and
I get that, but we're also, I mean, like, there also are like regulations in place. I mean, like, they're not as strict. Like, you do have to have, no, actually, what? You don't have to have a license to hunt hogs anymore.
You don't.
Right?
There's pretty much like no regulations on.
When did
there's
that
like
happen? When did that
like
happen?
3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's not
You don't
cool.
have, but you have to be on private property.
Correct.
Which like every hunting opportunity in Texas
is on private property.
Yeah.
But they're just such a nuisance, and you can't.
But you know what though? To play devil's advocate, I would still say that somebody should probably be doing some sort of research to kind of see how these populations are being affected. I mean, like, and I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I still stick by that. Like, an animal that's not regulated will eventually be hunted to extinction.
I think where it gets muddy is there's always going to be that bad apple that's going to ruin it for the rest of us. So I think for the vast majority, unregulated hunting probably isn't an issue, but then you're going to have those dudes that are just out there killing everything that they can. Doesn't matter if it's in season or if they're licensed or permitted. And they're going to be the reasons why there need to be regulations, which sucks.
Yeah, and that's true. Like, the regulations more like affect the people who actually follow the regulations more than the people who don't, because the people who break laws are going to break laws whether they're in place or not. But I mean, like the saying, like, what, locked doors keep honest people out, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, regulations do matter, and they do affect, and they have been beneficial for animals for a long period of time.
Exactly.
Well, and I don't think they would be bringing these regulations forward unless they saw like a real issue either. Yeah. So like, this must be a thing that's of real concern. If there's a lot of, if their TPWD's research comes back and says, hey, there's a lot of mountain lions that are, being left in traps and not being checked on. That's, of real concern to them, or something that they're seeing a lot.
Yeah.
So.
And also, I mean, like, what, mountain lions versus wild hogs. Like, mountain lions are higher on the food chain, so it's harder for them to grow versus, hogs can eat pretty much anything. So
I like
more
having,
likely.
I like having bobcats. I like wildcats and having them around and everything like that. So I think that we don't want them to go extinct.
No.
Right.
At all.
I mean, they play an important role in the ecosystem.
Exactly. And that Heart of Texas film, similar, like the ocelot, like they're trying to make a comeback with those. I just think they're very interesting creatures.
Yeah.
Ocelots are sweet.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
They're so cool.
Do y'all know how to titillate an ocelot, though?
How to what?
How to titillate the ocelot?
No.
Can I get a definition, please?
Excite.
How to what?
Excite.
Excite, like yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you
What-
titillate
okay,
an
that-
ocelot?
How you titillate an ocelot?
I don't
You
know.
oscillate its titillot.
Titillate. That's a new word for me.
You've never
messed up,
heard that
buddy.
word?
You messed up. That's a new word.
You've
That's
never
what
heard.
you
You've
like-
never heard that word before.
Not until about 30 seconds ago.
You should use that word tomorrow and then text us about it.
Oh, I'm going to use it a lot.
It's gonna be his word of the day for like a week.
Especially.
Exactly.
So one of the things I like to do, we all know who Lou is, right? We all know English is her second language. I like to use words that there's no way in hell she knows what they mean
Uh-huh.
because it just makes life more interesting. Like when
So
we
you
were
think titillate is one of those?
that's definitely going to be one of those. I don't know when I'm going to use it or what. You know what? My mom watches this. Oh, speak of the devil. Both of them are here. That's kind of weird.
Wait, your mom's there too? So she's clearly not watching right
No,
now.
it's- see,
You can
No,
say it. She's not watching.
this video was recorded in front of a live studio audience. I can't tell the rest of the story because she's right there now. Hey. Yeah, we are.
Hey.
Hi, everybody.
I can see Lou's shoulder, I think, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're at time anyway. We can wrap it up.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Harris, do you have your closing comments, closing thoughts?
Guys, I hope this podcast titillated the hell out of you.
Perfect. That's great. Russell, thanks for joining us, man. This is
Yeah,
great.
dude, this
Yeah,
was
it
a
was.
fun
This
one.
Thanks
was
for having me
fun.
on. It was nice not having to control everything for once. So
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
that's awesome.
All
Well,
right.
thank y'all for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, everybody. We'll catch y'all next week.
Sweet.
Look in the description below to find links to our website, online store, YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Discord server, and blog. Please send your podcast questions and inquiries to info@honeyholeangling.com. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you again next week.